Hello, uh, this is John Jenkins, and this is the third video in my series, which is called Get Rid of the Ums and the Ahs. So, I am still doing the but it's not as distracting as the uhs and ahs. So, what I was thinking was that I want to make a book. I want to change the way that I make books. So, for those of you who don't know, I've written 27 books. I've written 27 books, and I just started the 28th book a few weeks ago. And I've been self published 19 times in the past 4 years. So I've written a lot of books. And in the beginning there were a lot of problems with my publishing style because I didn't know there were two main issues. I didn't know what insert blank page was, and I didn't know what insert page break was. And those were the two main issues I was having with my book. So if you look at books like Catch You to Catch or even Save Them, or this wasn't really a problem with. I almost said So this wasn't really a problem with Da Vinci in Space, because by the time I got to Da Vinci in Space, I had learned how to use page break and insert blank page, stuff like that. So the goal of the situation was to improve my publishing ideas. So my idea was that I would have, obviously, I'll keep doing page break and blank page. I'll keep doing insert page break and insert blank page. And I'll keep, that's a tongue twister, by the way. Say that 10 times fast. I'll keep doing insert page break and insert blank page. And then I would also like to, because I'm writing a book of short stories. I'm writing a book of fables and Shakespearean sonnets and haikus. So fables, Shakespearean sonnets, and haikus. So with that, I want to have not only the piece that I'm writing, but I also want to have a synopsis, maybe 50 to 100 words on a separate page before the actual piece, and then a title maybe on the same page. And then I also wanted to have an illustration for each piece. For those of you who don't know, I'm a visual artist. I'm a designer by trade. My college degree is in multimedia production design. So I've been using Adobe products and Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere. I branched off in many different avenues. I've even used, what was the name of that program? Well, I've used Autodesk Sketchbook. I've used Corel Painter Essentials. I've used Clip Studio. So I've been doing graphic design and art for about 20 years. About 20 years now. It's been over 20 years because I started graphic design in high school. So it's been over 20 years since I've been starting with graphic design. So I wanted to add a little illustration before each piece, maybe small, maybe a small illustration, maybe an inch by an inch or 2 inches by 2 inches, something like that. Not to, I'm not trying to draw the Sistine Chapel here. I'm trying to draw a small piece that allows me to introduce the poem or fable or short story or haiku, Shakespearean sonnet, and then I want to have maybe a blank page in between. So you have the title page with the illustration and the synopsis, and then you have a blank page in between, and then you have the actual piece. And then after the piece is over, you have another blank page, and then another title page with an illustration, and then with a synopsis, and then a blank page and another piece. So I wanted to do it like that. It'll make it look a lot more organized, because there was a lot of, especially in Catch You're the Catch, there was a lot of confusing situations because there was no gap in between the pieces. Some of the pieces had a gap and some of them didn't. It's because I was separating the pages using the enter key. I was separating the pages using the enter key. I was making blank pages using the enter key, and that doesn't work. That's glitchy. It's glitchy. So if you do that, if you're using Microsoft Word or even Open Office, and you're making blank pages using the enter key or the space bar, then it's going to be erratic. Some of them will have spaces, some of them will have different lengths, different distances. So the only real way to do it is to use page break and insert blank page. And then obviously you have to use the margin slider at the top to organize it the way you want. So those are the ideas that I have right now for improving my publishing. And I would like to demonstrate that with my latest book. I do not have a title for it. And in fact, I have another book that I wrote in, I believe, 2022. I believe I wrote this book in 2022. And I have to edit that one and publish that one. So I'll also be using these strategies with that book as well. My goal is to improve my books. I mean, I've written so many books, but I've only sold two. I've only sold 2 books total. And I want to create books that people want to buy. I want to create books that people enjoy reading. That is my goal. And I would like to see that goal achieved. So thank you very much. Have a great day and enjoy yourself. And goodbye.